So for the first reason to why I chose HKUST was because of the rankings. So you can see on this page a bunch of different rankings are over here, but then the ones that a lot of people focus on is world ranking, right? So the world ranking for HKUST is 32, that the QS Global World Ranking ranked us. And another really nice feature that we have is we're first in young universities in the world. Young university basically means that universities that are under 50 years. And on the right hand side, you can see the statistics of the School of Engineering. You can see that almost all of the departments are number one in Hong Kong and well above the rest of the universities in Asia.
So apart from its academic excellence, also one of the reasons that we joined UST is obviously the atmosphere and the view. So it's located quite remote area. So technically we have our own city sort of thing. And it's like just a very close community where you're just engaged with everyone of different race. And it's a really nice place to gather.
Right, so there's also how HKUST is actually very culturally diverse. We have a lot of people coming from different regions, and I'd like to open up a poll, and you can vote on how many people do you think our students, how many places do you think our students come from?
So you can just click
Feel
on
free to guess. I'll give around like 5 more seconds.
Just a wild guess will do.
Okay.
All right.
Closing the poll right now. So I'll share you the results. So there's, I guess, a bit of competition between around 70 and 80, but the actual answer is around 80. So 3 of you got that right. And this is just to showcase how culturally diverse HKUST is. And except for culturally diverse, HKUST also gives us many opportunities. For example, competitions. To the left, you could see like this $1 million competition that we have. It's an annual competition which is there to promote practical skills and there to solve problems and create your own company. And this is just one of the competitions that UST has helped organize for our students. And who wouldn't want to be a millionaire, you know?
Agree.
All right, so let's introduce you guys to our daily life in HKUST. So over here, you can see 3 different timetables of ourselves. So for myself, I'm studying computer engineering, which you guys know now, which is from the School of Engineering, right? So I have to take, like almost every semester, I would take a mathematics course, a computer course, and an electronic course. So that's exactly what I'm doing in my semester right now. I'm taking 18 credits, and you might think that, oh, it's a bit packed or not, but it's completely up to the students how they want to organize their timetables. UST gives a very flexible timetable to everyone. And if you want to join a class with your friends or something, you can allocate yourselves to those classes also. But for myself, I allocated my time slot like this because I have some free time in the middle on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So what I do is I usually maybe go to the gym with my friends or, you know, go grab a bite or go to the library and, you know, have some fun time by myself.
Yeah. So for my timetable, not as colorful as Uber's, but basically I'm also doing 18 credits this semester. And you can see that I have a lot of gaps right in the middle. So if I do have those time and if there's school, what I would normally do is like go into the library and just mingle with my friends, study obviously, or like just go and have tea time with my friends, play some sports. It's very flexible for you guys, so you guys can actually change your timetable catering to your own like availability. But for me, unfortunately, when I was pre-enrolled, Monday to Friday, it's all filled. But that means I have few gaps. That's mean I can go to school every day and have fun. Yeah.
So the timetable I chose is my first semester. And I'm guessing you might be wondering how you're supposed to form your own timetable, given like this flexibility you have with it. Well, you don't have to worry because when you want to form it, you have these peer mentors, which are basically your seniors from the same school, and they're there to guide you. So you, for example, you choose a path. In my case, I was like, oh, I want to be a civil engineer. Could you introduce me some courses that would help? And then he would basically do all the research and tell me which courses I need to do in order to get this major. Or if you're not sure, they'll introduce you to introductory courses for you. And then I was able to make this timetable where I have free time on Wednesday and Friday just to play around, play some sports in UST, use the facilities given.
All right, so before we move on, there is a poll that we're gonna launch again. So we want to know, what do you think? Okay, how many schools do you think HKUST has? So over here with ourselves, you already know that I'm from School of Engineering, Irel's from School of Engineering, and Ivy's from School of Science. So you can already eliminate maybe, you know, some options. So half of you have already answered. We'll give you another 5 to 10 seconds. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So let me share the results with you guys. All right. So actually, a vast majority of you said that we have 4 schools, which is correct. Okay. We have 4 schools, namely there's School of Science, School of Engineering, School of Humanities, and School of Business. All right. But there's another thing which we have is called IPO, Interdisciplinary Programs Office. So for them, it's basically a combination of different schools. All right. So there are some courses, for example, dual degree program or risk management and business intelligence. So these courses have a little bit of combination of different kinds of schools, and that's what IPO is doing. So moving on, here are some of our courses that we'd like to share with you. Some of the courses that we personally enjoy a lot in our university life. So for myself, my days in university comprises of programming or building some robots. And what else I do? So over here, you can see there's a short clip that I prepared for you guys. So there's a short clip. So over here, what I did, this was in my first year. I created a robot which comprised of a lot of electronic components. And the special thing it had was some kind of light sensors. So it sensed the light on the floor, the reflective light of the white light and the black light. So if it's white, it follows it. If it's black, you know, it's gonna get off of it, right? So this was one of the projects that I enjoyed a lot in my university life, and something that you like in university, you can go for it right away.
That's really cool.
So being a civil engineering major, I work with structures and bridges and things related to buildings. And to the right, you'd see what one of my course offers is basically a model, and we use a software which uses 3D modeling. And we're able to go from floor to floor. And that model is actually a model of the real sports center in UST. And with this modeling system, you'd be able to go through different floors. So you can check out the pool, check out the hall and the different floors and different rooms. And it just shows the practicality of UST courses.
So for me, I'm a biotechnology student. So as the name says itself, I have a lot of laboratory works. So apart from being in lectures and studying theories and stuff, I actually have to go to labs and do a lot of experiments. And these experiments equip me with a lot of practical knowledges and uses. So I was able to meet a lot of my friends from here. And as you can see, these are my lab mates from previous years. We did some weird experiments, some cool experiments, you name it. We had to count flies and determine its gender. So some weird stuff and then really cool stuff like electrophorese. And I also learned how to draw an industrial diagram in one of my courses, which is biotechnology and business. So a lot of mix and match of different courses, and this enables us to have fun at the same time.
Now we're going to talk about hall life, but before talking about it, we're going to start a poll on how many halls you think UST has.
Right.
Ooh.
So the halls are, you know, usually around the seaside of HKUST, a little bit away from the academic building. So how many do you think that HKUST provides to their students?
In total.
Right. I'll give around 5 more seconds before I end the polling. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so I'll share the results now. So most of you chose 10, which is actually right. We have 9 on campus and 1 off campus in TKO. But you don't have to worry about being in TKO because there's a free shuttle bus that goes from that hall to campus. And right now, we're going to talk about what we do in halls. So during my first year, I was able to get hall for a whole year. And my friends and I would hang out in Hall 7 on Thursday night. And we call these family gatherings where we just talk, cook our meals, and then share, converse, and like play games. And other than that, in hall, we just do some weird stuff. Like me and my friend to the right, this was 4 a.m. in the morning and we got hungry and we're like, oh, let's cook some noodles. And then basically went to the common room, cooked noodles and ate. Not bad. Fun. It was a very fun experience.
And so for me, I lived in Hall 9 for 1 semester last year. And Hall 9 is actually kind of the furthest away from the academic building. So normally I run to my classes. That's a good workout. But basically, Hall 9, right below Hall 9, there's actually a gym. So any of you guys that like gym, like it's just right below there. Amazing view, amazing community. As you guys can see, we have a lot of food, like gatherings with our hall friends. And then it's free food too. And then close to the exam season, hall tutors actually have a dog. So what they would do is bring their dog to the common room, and it's sort of a way for us to de-stress before our exams. And I'm a Malaysian student, so I joined this Malaysian community, and we like at the start of semester, at the end of the semester, we have gatherings with each other in one of the hall's common room and just have fun.
And for myself, I lived in Hall 6. Unlike Ivy's hall, which is actually all the way in the corner of HKUSD, my hall was somewhat in the middle and a little bit away from the academic building, but I think it was actually an optimal place for a hall to be. And there was actually a small cafeteria right under my hall. So if you get like, so, like you want to eat something late night, you can just go over there with your friends. It opens up till like 2 a.m. So, grab a bite or something. And for myself, what I did in my whole life was I joined a committee in which we organized a bunch of activities for our halls. Over here, you can see we went for, in a trampoline park or some camp or, bowling activities. So what I want to share over here is that in HKUSD, no matter where you're from, you can dive in and submerge yourself in all kinds of cultures, and people are very friendly and they'll welcome you no matter what, right? And before we finish off hall life, there is one more fact. So HKUSD is also constructing 2 more halls for undergraduate students. So if you want to, which we all recommend, you should apply for halls. And there's also another fact, which is all first year local students get a semester of halls guaranteed. So do take the opportunity. You will not regret it.
So for talking about sports, I really like netball. I don't know if you guys heard of it before, but basically it's sort of like a basketball. So what I did was I joined UST netball team, and apart from that, I also joined a club outside of UST. And when you're admitted to UST during your first year, you must do a compulsory health 10-10, which is like you must require that in order to graduate. So for me, I did like a sport that I've never done before. On the bottom left, as you guys can see, it's golf and squash. So UST give you this exposure to new sports that you've never tried before. You don't have to be good at it. We had great fun just laughing at each other and just mingle around and meet new people at the same time.
And that's Ivy playing golf.
Wow, so good.
I try.
So regarding sports, there's also something called the intramural sports competition in UST. So you can play different sports like football, basketball, badminton, athletics, etc. And I joined the football competition for this. And this competition is basically by departments. You're basically in a department and you compete for that department against other departments. So I played for computer engineering football team, and we played against finance, economics, and so there's this tournament over there. And right now I'll start a poll on what you think my team got in this competition.
So what do you think?
Wow. Okay, that was sad. Last.
Whoever
wonder
chooses
too.
first who said last, that might just be correct.
Go for it. Go for the guts.
No. First.
Oh.
All right, I'll end the poll in like 5 seconds just to give other few more chance to answer. Okay, I like the answers. So I'll end it now. I'll share the results. Most of you picked first. For those who picked last, I do not appreciate it. You picked first, and you are right. I got first runner up. First runner up.
Oh, wow.
So no one got it correct, actually.
No one got it right. It's at second place, Aaron.
Yeah, no, but it's first.
All right. So talking about clubs and societies, I'll do a quick polling right now. Just give a wild guess on how many clubs and societies do you think there are in UST?
So
yes.
I honestly think there are like 5 maybe. I think 5 is enough.
5? Oh,
5 is
all
enough.
right.
Five. 5
5 more seconds. Okay, wow, everyone's doing good at this. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll now and share the results. So majority got it right. We actually have over 100 sports and societies club. I don't even know some of it, but there's like Magic Club and stuff like that. So during the first few weeks of university, clubs and societies will set up their booth at the atrium. So it's a good way for you guys to experience new clubs and just get to know people from there too. And as you guys can see, we have like Dance Society Club. We have a lot of performances at the atrium. So take this opportunity to get to know people. And then for one of the clubs and societies that I've joined is Netball. I'm actually an executive committee member for Netball last year as an internal secretary. And from this club and society that I joined, I actually got 1 year of hall life. So if you join a club and society, each club allocates you to 5 hall spaces. So if you want to get a hall and at the same time have fun, play some sports, you should join this. It's great fun and you meet a lot of team members, which will be beneficial for your next 4 years in university.
So regarding societies, there's not only sports societies. For example, I joined volleyball club, but there's also other societies, for example, cultural ones. I joined 2, one of which was Southeast Asian Students Association, and the other one was MUSTI, which is the Indonesian Association. And these cultural societies are for everyone. You don't have to be of that culture or nationality to join. It's just there to promote that culture. For example, for the Southeast Asian Students Association, we have something called the Annual Cultural Night, which we invite people over for our event where we showcase the different cultures for Southeast Asian countries. And bottom right, you can see that this was I was there to promote Indonesian dance. I think it's a war dance, but we're kneeling. And this is just part of it. And after all the showcase of cultural things, we also showcase cultural foods, which everyone can be there to try. It's free to join for anyone.
Join if you want to see Aero dance too.
Yeah.
So other than clubs and societies, there's also something called the Student Ambassador Program. So all of like the 3 of us over here, you can see all of us, like we're in different kinds of pictures over here. So what we do as a student ambassador is we promote HKUST to different kinds of people, different communities. We reach different parents and then, try to get students to come to our university. And over here, you can see that we also have a lot of fun among ourselves also. So we all think that we're models in somewhat sense. So you can see me in the middle picture, I'm kneeling down, making a pose over there. On the top right photo, you can see Ivy is posing over there. And then on the bottom right, of course, our beautiful Iroh with a pony. It looks like a pretty little pony.
Love that photo.
So apart from promoting university and doing our job, we also have a lot of great fun, as Umar has mentioned. I know Iroh and Umar from Student Ambassador, and we have like countless activities at the start of semester and throughout the semester. went for a lot of bowling and a lot of gatherings. And of course, a lot of like whipped in the face cream. As you can see, Iroh probably got whipped in the face.
I won. We won that. We won that.
Sure.
We did. I swear.
All right. So moving on to the opportunities that HKUST provides to their students. So one of the things that students usually like miss out on is, these kind of opportunities because they think that it's not real or they're a bit afraid of it or something, and maybe because of rejection or something. But please don't be afraid of it. It's part of life, and do expose yourself and get out of your comfort zone to these things because it's important in the later life. So for ourselves, for myself at least, I joined the First Code Academy. I'm a part-time instructor over there where I teach students how to code. And how I got this job was actually kind of through HKUST. So what UST does is every year they have this event called the Career Mosaic, which you can see on the left side. So what happens in Career Mosaic is different kinds of companies come to HKUST, bring their representatives, and then students get to talk to their representatives and understand their workplace and what they have to do, what their qualifications are, et cetera, et cetera. And this is one of the opportunities that HKUST provides. So do, grasp the opportunity.
So I'm going to share with you my experience with the internship. This was during my first year of summer. This was the summer. And I was able to intern at Hong Kong Trade Development Council. And surprisingly, I got this not from the Career Mosaic, but from my the Southeast Asian Students Association. Basically, they promote jobs or internships for Southeast Asians, and I was able to get this. And I'm going to show you one of the events that I was able to help administer. So this was Center Stage. It's basically a Hong Kong fashion show, and it's there to promote Hong Kong designers. And so basically, there's a lot of things you can do. You might be wondering why a civil engineer major is doing something related to fashion. I am too. I mean, I was very confused with this choice, but it was an enjoyable experience. I learned a lot about like office work, just work experience in general. And I also had a chance to meet local celebrities, as you can see in the middle. I don't know if you recognize any, but I've heard they're local celebrities.
And for me, I did not join any internships, but I did a part-time as a tutoring. And one thing I want to say is that UST constantly bombard you with a lot of emails, but there was like, you need to check those emails. So one of the things I did was one of the case competition where I work with students from different majors like business, engineering, and I'm science. So what we did was we have to design a board game to implement CSV into the public. So what I'm saying here is that you don't need to have that knowledge before you joining the competition. You will acquire that while doing it and just sharing your knowledge with your peers.
This is another thing. This is another competition, which is HackUST. It's an annual event, which is about coding. I joined HackUST, which is about coding a software which can help a company. In this case, we had Jardines, which is the owner of the franchise of KFC in Hong Kong. And we created this app, which is for signing paperwork and like creating forms and documents for that company. And we had 24 hours to do this, so it was very hectic with a lot of teams competing. And luckily we were able to get to the top 10, but fell short from the top 3. And top 1 got $250,000 to start their business with the help of Jardines also. So these are opportunities that are readily available for you. Even now, we still have the online version of HackUST going on. And so you should definitely join these competitions.
So during the summer, UST actually offered this voluntary service for us. So what we basically do is we basically just go to China and work with other universities in China to help this rural primary school in Guangxi. And we learned I actually made friends with a lot of civil engineering students because we actually have to build a bridge, paint the walls, build an incinerator, have a lot of good food. and then like get to know people. So I don't know Cantonese and Mandarin myself, but from this trip, I actually learned few words. So I would say I accomplished something from it, and it's a great fun during the 9 days. And then during the semester, last semester in school, throughout the semester, I did this CLE Language Day Camp Leader and ELBS Mentor. They're quite interchangeable. So basically what we do is we organize activities for incoming first-year students. So they might like a big transition. So we actually kind of help them expose to the university life and just join activities and get them comfortable with English. So if you guys actually come to USD, I would highly encourage you guys to join this because I made a lot of friends from it. And they did too. And then we did a lot of fun activities like hiking, escape room, etc.
All right, so last but not least, we're gonna share with you what our future plans at HKDSE are. So all of us here are year two. We're just ending our year two now, going to move on to year three. So in our year three, for myself, I want to apply for a job in HSBC, maybe as an internship or maybe a part-time worker, I don't know. These internships also come not only in summer or winter, it also comes as a 6 month internship or even a 1 year internship. If you are comfortable and want to dedicate a whole semester or a whole year to your job, please go for it because you might get returning offers from some kind of companies also. And another thing that I want to do in my future HKUSC life is join the business school, like a minor program in business school. So HKUSD also provides students with 20 different minors. So what minors are is basically that, so for myself, I'm a major in computer engineering, School of Engineering. So I can also take some minors from different kinds of schools to learn some things that only the School of Business provides or School of Humanities or Science, etc., etc. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Of course, a little bit of workload will be increased. It's kind of like a trade-off, but then I think at the end of the day, it might just be beneficial for you. And the last thing I want to do is go for an exchange in the University of Toronto to the University of Toronto because I feel like, Canada is a nice place, and then I can also meet different kind of people over there and explore their culture.
And for me, I actually plan on minoring in environmental science, but I did not put that there because I'm uncertain yet. So basically, USD, what they do is that you can actually declare your minor at the end of your third year or at the start of your fourth year, whichever is convenient to you, and you can drop it if it's not your cup of tea. So a lot of flexibility, you can just try different courses before you actually declare it. One of the things that I want to do this year is doing Europe, which is Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program. As the name says itself, it's basically a research opportunity where you work with professors and their teaching assistants in laboratory, where you get hands-on practical skills and learn how to write reports, and also conducting the experiments of like whichever experiments you choose. And the second thing that I want to do is join HKUST Connect. I really like volunteering myself. So HKUST Connect is like a service opportunity for you where UST actually works with other organizations, whether it's in Hong Kong or like elsewhere like Nepal and Cambodia. And we organize a lot of trips where we get to like enhance our leadership skills at the same time serving the community. So those are the things that I want to do in my future plans.
Oh, okay. So future plans are more simple. I just want to get in an internship related to my major, which is civil engineering. And then I plan to go on exchange to University of Birmingham during the spring term. I wanted to go there because it's in the UK, and from the UK I can travel across Europe. And I have a friend there too who's able to show me around, and I'll be able to get closer easily.
All right, so this is going to conclude our sharings, but before we leave, there is one last question that we would like to ask you guys and to maybe, allow you to explore HKUST a little bit more, right? So the question is, can you create and study a major you wish by yourself? Okay, you're creating a major by yourself, you apply for it, and you study that for 4 years, 5 years, like that. That's the idea. Do you think it's possible in HKUST?
So this is like a whole new major, something that
we don't provide or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So half of you have voted. Let's wait for another 10, 15 seconds.
Okay.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So let me share the results. So actually, a vast majority of you, okay, 85% of you say that yes, you can create and study a major you wish, which is correct. All right. So a lot of students usually don't know this, right? A lot of students don't know this. So we're gonna we're gonna give you a little bit more information. So if you wish, you can create and study a major you create by yourself. But the idea is that this major should not be, something that UST provides. It should be a little bit more different. It should kind of be interdisciplinary. So have, a little bit of engineering side, a little bit of business side, a little bit of science side. So you have to combine these things. And also not a lot of students successfully get to create and study a major they wish. So you will have to go through a procedure with some advisors. So if they approve your proposal, then you'll be successfully creating a major that you make. So the official term for it is individualized interdisciplinary major, all right? So if you're interested, you can go to the website and type IIM and then look more into it, all right? So that should be the end of our sharing. And last but not least, please do follow our Instagram for more information. We put a lot of students sharings over there, so you can see these stories. You can just click on them, any one of them. And if you wish to chat with them personally also, they might have their personal accounts linked to it. You can go ahead and give them a direct message, or you can direct message the HKUST account itself. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions. All right. So this marks the end of it. Please, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat. You can unmute yourself one by one, and we'll answer your questions. Any kinds of questions.
Okay. One person asked me a question, and the question is, can I choose a specific hall? And actually, when you enter, you can enter 3 of your preferences, like your top 3 preferences. And you're not guaranteed to get your top 3 preferences, but they will try to cater it. For example, some of my friends got their third options, or some it's not even in the option. But what I do know is that if you actually join a ex-committee member and you put your top 3 preferences, the chances of you getting it is very high. So even though if you don't get your hall preferences, you should really just live in that hall and go for it, because the opportunities you'll be getting is a lot of fun.
So I also got another question. It's, what is the dating scene at UST like? Dating at UST like? So
Interesting.
you want to answer this? So personally, I'm actually dating someone from UST also, like currently. Like I see, like we started dating at UST and we met at UST. So I'm pretty sure there are a lot of opportunities if you want to go for something like that. It's, yeah, not bad. You just gotta be more proactive about it. What would you guys wanna? Do you guys wanna come into this?
All right. So for myself, no, I'm not dating from a girl from HKUST. I used to date someone outside HKUST actually. So if you, honestly speaking, you have to have good time management if you want to, have a dating life, have a university life, have a job life. You have to manage your time well. So I mean, you can see Arul, right? He has a good time management, good timetable, so he can manage it. Good on him.
Okay, dating aside, when I was talking about how someone asked if I can compare the halls for you, like briefly, so there are 9 halls located in UST and 1 in TKO. And hall 1 to hall 6, they're basically communal bathrooms, which means you actually share the showers and toilets with the entire floor. And hall 7, 8, 9, and 10, you are basically assigned to like 4 people to a bathroom. So you have more privacy, and like you don't have to go for like line up for the crowd during rush hour and stuff like that. And obviously the price ranges from each hall. So you can check that on the UST website if you want to know more about it. There's double room, triple room, single room. And so I live in hall 9, that's the furthest away, but it's actually one of the nicest hall, I would say. So 7, 8, 9, I guess those are people's top preferences. But hall 6, as the one Umar stayed in, is also a really good hall. And hall 1 is like the closest to the academic building. So if you don't want to be late for class, that would be a good hall for you too.
Yeah. All right, there's another question. Is it hard to do double majors? Interesting. So I think the three of us over here are doing single majors. But for double majors, it's basically, think of it as like, it's double the workload, of course. So for ourselves, you've seen our timetable. So let me just exit this. So I'll show you our timetables again if you're interested. All right, so those are our timetables, right? Can everyone see it? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Right, good. So our timetables look like this with one major. Now imagine you're doing two majors, right? It's going to be double the crowdness. So if you think you're capable of doing it, do go for it. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, but I think if you manage your time well, everything is possible for yourselves.
I mean, it is definitely possible. Like most business majors actually double major. So if you're in the school of business and you have, for example, you're doing marketing, you can also double major with operations management. And these options are just readily available and they become sort of a norm in the school of business. So I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just you gotta put some effort into it, definitely.
Someone asked like, how hard is it to like rearrange your class and stuff like that? Well, that really depends because some courses have more than one classes. So if you're lucky with that, you can rearrange it and get like few days off. But some classes only have one lecture. So which means you cannot choose, you cannot change, you cannot alter it. For me, I really like 9 a.m. classes. And I know some people will be like, oh, 9 a.m. is too early. I cannot go to lecture and stuff like that. So some big lecture halls they record their videos. So if you do not attend and they do not take attendance, you can actually watch it during your own free time, which means you need to have really good time management skills. But on the other hand, if they actually take attendance, you have to be an early bird. Yeah.
All right, so we have another 4 minutes. You can keep asking.
Feel free to just type down the chat.
Yeah.
You could ask any one of us.
Okay, so someone asked, is UST far from the city? So as I mentioned earlier, UST is located in quite a remote area in UST. And probably some of you might think, oh, it might not be as convenient and stuff like that. But when Iro said there's actually a hall in TKO and they have free shuttle back and forth, it only takes like 15 minutes or so, depending on the traffic. And there's actually a lot of public transportations that UST provide, like a lot of free shuttle that goes to Hang Hao, TKO, or like Diamond Hill if you live further away. And we actually have like a UST app which shows like, oh, what time the bus arrived and stuff like that. So if you're really like tight on schedule and stuff like that, using those apps will really help to keep your time more efficient. And it's actually pretty convenient. UST already have most of the stuff that you need. But if you prefer like eating outside and stuff like that, just taking one shuttle bus away, 15 minutes, you will reach Hang Hao in no time.
Yeah, there's also a morning and afternoon. So like after your classes and before in 9 a.m., you'd be able, there's these buses that go to, I think, Yunnan and one to Prince Edward and one at Kowloon Tong. So you can check them out in the webpage. You can see if like these cater to you.
And someone asked, is it hard to double major? Well, that really depends on like how motivated you are in getting those two majors, because double majors, you actually need around 180 credits in order to graduate. And most average student in UST per semester, we take around 15 credits. So what they would do is they would normally credit overload. So you must take more than 15 credits. And actually, some people can do that, some people cannot. And if they cannot, they just kind of defer one more year. So instead of 4 years, they might take 5 years instead to graduate double major. I know a friend that's doing global business and biotechnology at the same time. And sort of like a bit of a struggle, but she's actually enjoying it. So it's possible as long as you know where you want to go with your career path. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just do IPO, which is a 5 years program where you choose a major and general business management. And so you graduate with 2 majors basically. And if you're not sure whether you want to double major or not, you can always just come to UST with 1 major or just join a school-based program, and you can declare that later on. So it's quite flexible, and it's not like you must declare everything right at the same moment.
All right, so I got 2 questions. So the first one is, can I choose ISD as my second year major? All right, ISD. So what ISD is Integrated System Design. And if I'm not wrong, you're asking me if you can take it in your second year. I think that it'll be too much of a workload for a student taking double major in the second year. So I personally would not recommend you to do that. But if you, I mean, if you want to, for sure, you should go for it. It'll be a little bit tough though. And the second question I have is the humanities program a good choice? Well, all of the choices in HKDSE are good. There are, high rankings up there. The professors are nice. The way the courses are taught out are nice. But I have not taken any School of Humanities courses yet. But again, HKUST, what you have to do is you have to complete 36 credits of common course. So in this common course, what common course means is basically, daily life kind of things. So you explore different kinds of schools. And one of them, if I'm not sure, I think Iril has done Huma. Did you do Huma?
Humanities. Yeah, I took a humanities course.
So can you explain, like, was it nice? Was it fun?
It was, so my humanities course was a common core, and it was the one of the required ones. And it's just like writing essays, and talk about something that's debatable. It's more like whether you think it's about morals. Mine was about morals. So you wrote an essay on why you think that's right and why it could not be right. And it's basically about discussion. You can discuss with the professor, and you have tutorial sessions for your essays. And it's pretty good in my opinion for humanities.
All right. So I hope that we've answered all of your questions, and we're glad that we were, of some service to you guys. It was our pleasure to help you guys. And before you go, again, please follow our social media, not just for ourselves, but also for you. Get some more information out of it. All right. So if you wish, you can leave the room one by one. If you have any other questions, you can just type it out, I guess.
Or you can just Instagram message us some questions if you guys want to, and we'll answer it through the admission page. Hope to see you guys in UST soon.
Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you.